So yeah, Mo Kudus finally to Tottenham Hotspur is a done deal. Becomes perhaps the most expensive Ghanaian signing to a European team in history. Over 60 million euros that deal is worth. And he's worth every cent. And I'm excited about this deal for a couple of reasons, which is what I'm doing. But don't forget, subscribe. Devil in the Detail GH. YouTube, so click on the subscribe button there. Thank you very much. And share the videos. Always happy to share a few words. We're growing, you know. Yeah, but Kudus, first thing, I'm happy that Kudus decided to ignore the allure of Saudi Arabia and stay. If you look at Kudus, if you've studied Kudus, Kudus has always been interested in what Kudus, the player, can achieve. I think he's one of the very few Ghanaian footballers we've had in recent times who is very concerned about what he can do on the biggest stage and about establishing himself as a player. You know, there are those who might be interested in just having a career. And it's a mindset, and it's a fair mindset to have. So have a decent career, earn some money. End of the day, it was all good. But if you look at Mohammed Kudus, I think, and his trajectory, when you talk to him, you listen to his interviews, there's a player who is hell-bent on being regarded as one of the best that exist around at the time that he's playing. And I think he's been able to do that pretty well, whilst having the opportunity to earn a lot of money doing it at Tottenham Hotspurs. Now, somebody might say, yeah, but Spurs is not really the kind of place. But hey, Spurs is a massive club. Irrespective of their inability to win trophies over the past decades, recently won the Europa League, yes, it doesn't cancel that. But it does not take away the fact that in the English Premier League, in English football, Tottenham is a big presence. It's a massive global presence. And again, it gives him another platform upon which to establish and display that he belongs amongst the best in the world. Everybody will see him on a weekly basis. Everybody will see him anywhere else in the world. And I think it speaks to that. Now, let's also talk about the potential of where he can be played, because Tottenham Hotspur, in the area that he's normally used to, would deploy maybe a Dejan Kulusevski on the right. They like Son when he's fit up front, although he's lost his position a bit because of fitness issues. But I think that Son as team captain, when he's fit, Thomas Frank will find a space for him. But the thing is this, when you listen to the interviews that Kudus gave, the introductory videos, I spoke about Thomas Frank and the impact that Thomas Frank can have on his career. And if you look at Thomas Frank and the work he did at Brentford, Thomas Frank has done phenomenal work on players who have similar abilities, similar skill sets to what Mohammed Kudus normally displays. So you're talking about like a Brian Mbeumo, like a Yohan Wissa, like a Kevin Schade. You know, these are wide attacking players that he's been able to mold. He's been able to create systems where he's able to get the best out of them. And I'm thinking Kudus, with all the options that had been laid before him, would also have looked at Thomas Frank's ability to do this and say, this is the right coach for me. Because if you look at Kudus at West Ham, and the data will show this, he's played a lot. The four biggest positions that he's played, right side of attack, central midfield, attacking forward, basically as the central focus of the attack, and a bit on the left wing. And I think that Thomas Frank is looking at that, you know, utility of Mohammed Kudus and thinking, this is a player I can fit all over the place and can get a job done for me. So exciting times for Mohammed Kudus as he gets to Tottenham Hotspur. Does not mean it's going to be easy. He has work to do. And I don't think Mohammed Kudus will go in there thinking that he's an automatic starter. No, there's a lot of work to be done because there is competition. Last season's top goal scorer for Tottenham Hotspur was Brennan Johnson. Prefers to operate in pretty much the same spaces as Mohammed Kudus. That is something Mohammed Kudus will have to deal with. Dejan Kulusevski, when he's fit, is an outstanding wide player. Mohammed Kudus will have to deal with that. If he shifts in the middle, they are trying to bring in Morgan Gibbs-White, who is a proper number 10. They already have James Maddison, who on his day is an excellent player. At number 8, they have Yves Bissouma as well, another excellent player, although they haven't been able to do it consistently. So it does not mean that Kudus is a shoo-in. What it does mean is that he will have to fight, but he's in an environment where he's fighting with some of the best players in their positions around. And we will be able to see perhaps Mohammed Kudus pushed to the very heights of his talent. And we could see the potential that he has because we haven't really seen him get to that point yet. We've seen elements of that talent, but we want to see everything come together. You know, when things come together for other players, like we've seen at Dembele, like we saw things come together for a Bale, or we just need a season where everything comes together for Mohammed Kudus, so we can see exactly what kind of player he is. And I think the potential for him to achieve that will happen at Spurs. So exciting times for the Ghana attack, and exciting times, I guess, for Ghanaian football fans as well, who get to see one of their favorite players on a global platform performing week in, week out. But like I said, it's not going to be easy. He has to earn that spot.